Good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Well, let's see. Did my Discord bot fall down on the job? I hope not. What's up, Arkin? How are you? Doing well? Let's go. Yeah, you're the first one here. You're on it. Hey, Artwork Studios, how are you? I'm so good. How about you? What makes it so good? I am as well as I always am. Artwork Studios. Hey, ya, Steven. K, bye. Gotta go to school, you know. See you, Artwork Studios. Good luck with school, man. Yeah. That's one of those drive-by hellos. Which is, I mean, drive-by hellos are equally as welcome as any other type of hellos. Mohammed said hi. Hello, Mohammed. How are you? Let's see. We're gonna do npm run dev. I don't remember where the heck I left off with this project. I think we had gotten to the point where we had like all the basic CRUD operations, but we needed to make it look pretty. I think is basically where we left off. Arkin, I'm happy because X Libre is forked, soon to be spooned. What is X Libre? I'm not familiar with any of that. X Libre? X Libre project's fork of Xorg X server with lots of code cleanup and enhanced functionality. I don't understand what Xorg is, Arkin. Can you level me up? Xorg X server? What does Google say? Xorg X server is the free open source implementation of the X Windows System display server. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why this is particularly exciting. But you know, everybody has their little rabbit holes, so uh, you know, you do you. You do you, man. All right, so I think what do I think? What do I think? So I think the first thing I should do tonight is I should change The Xorg is that low-level component that connects your GUI to your GPU driver. It's the thing that makes your entire Linux GUI go boom boom. Interesting. But it says it's a Windows display system. So it like originated as part of a Windows technology or something? Oh, okay, yeah. It's an open source implementation of the X Windows system. Okay. Very interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't daily drive Linux, so maybe I'm just out of the know, you know? I'm just out of the know, you know? That doesn't make any sense. Yes, it's undermined all GUI application. Well, interesting. I guess I'm not working at that low level of a level to know that that should matter. Okay, so I think I want to serve the books route on the index route. Does that seem like a problem? So basically, I want to get rid of this. And I want to get rid of... Well, I guess I just want to serve the same module. So I want to say routes, books, like that. Can I do that? Oh goodness, I made something angry. Do I need to rebuild? Route config in routes.ts is invalid. Unable to define routes with duplicate ID. Oh, interesting. So how do I... so how would I do this in React Router, right? If I want to have the root serve a route module, let's see, React Router v7 duplicate routes. Oh, you just have to, okay. So I can literally just come in here and say ID, or I'm just going to say index. Will that work? Oh, Brian. Boo, React. JK. I just never needed to learn it. What do you do anything on the front end, O'Brien? And if you do something on the front end, do you have a technology of choice? Okay, there we go. So now we're serving books at the index, but we can also serve books here. That's fine. Okay, so now we need to make this probably look a little prettier, don't we? This is uglier than heck. Uglier than hell. O'Brien, say that again. Oh, O'Brien, I was wondering if you do anything on the front end, since you said you've never had to learn React. I was just curious if that was like because you don't typically work on the front end, or if you just have always worked in a different front end technology. Parkin. I'm more of a back-end guy myself. Yeah, I don't know. I like both. Like today I pretty much spent all my day working on a console application. That was a lot of fun. And then tonight I'm spending some time working on this project. I don't know. I think there's fun in all of it, you know? I could be happy working on either. O'Brien, I'm a full stack dev using Vue and Next. Very cool. I have been using the last year and a half, pretty much exclusively for front end. I have not tried Nuxt, so I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on it. I've only used the single page app version of Vue, you know, the spa version of Vue. All right. So let's try to make this pretty. So this is a list of books essentially. Um, let's ask Claude. Can you create a prototype of how you would display a list of books in a, I don't know, in a React app? I want I want it to look nice. That is the worst direction to ever give anybody. But I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Let's see what it comes up with. I don't really care so much about the code it's writing. I just care more about like what style it uses or the design it uses. O'Brien, perfect prompt ever. Yeah, it reminds me. So I originally started my career as a food scientist, and so a lot of the work that I did was people would come to me and they would say, you know, we want you to develop XYZ food product. And it was such a pain in the ass to get people to give like good descriptive feedback. Like I remember one time somebody said, "We would like you to develop an interesting looking cheese stick." And I was just like, what in the fuck does interesting mean, right? Like it's so open to interpretation, it's not helpful at all. All right. Do we like this? Yeah, I think I like this. And I also think you can make this like kind of a grid, which I'm guessing maybe it's already some sort of a grid layout. Oh no, it just literally, Claude just made it literally a single. Okay, so I like the card. The card is very nice. I don't need an add to library. So yeah, I'm thinking we just have like a grid of cards, right? That's like this, and they flex and they wrap and they maintain like some max width or something. But overall, I like the cover, like having sort of like because we talked about maybe using the Google API to like go and fetch information about the books. And I think the Google API, you can get Google Books API cover images. Yeah, I think you can get cover images. Let's see. Yeah. Images. Yeah, so you can get, let's see, extra large. Very nice. Yeah, so I think we could probably do that, and we could use the images as we could have some sort of fallback, but the image could display there at the top of the card. So I like it. Oh, Brian, full width, baby. Yeah, just make it take up the whole thing. Oh, Brian, phallic. A good one, man. I missed your comment about Nux. Let's see. I will die with view / /Nux. Nux is good for some things. Depends on the project needs. If I need a node server, it's built in with it. Or if I need SSR, it has to out of the box. So does Nuxt have... I'm guessing Nuxt has some sort of concept of like... You can define like API routes. Like, can you do things with the node server that Nuxt provides you? Like, can you use it like a normal, everyday node server? Just kind of curious. Mr. the Cookie, Steven, is Google Play Online safe? I'm not sure I know what you mean. O'Brien, it's Vue on steroids. Nice. O'Brien, yes. Okay, very cool. Yeah, that's awesome that they allow you to... Excuse me, that they allow you to use the server however you'd like. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by is Google Play Online safe. I mean, I don't know. As safe as everything else you do online, probably. All right. Should we try to build this card? I mean, some of this data I don't have yet. Like, I really only have the title and the author. That's really the only things I have at the moment. But who cares, right? Let's just try to do it. Let's just try to hack at it. Let's see, books, index. All right. I'm gonna have to put Claude's design on my other half of the screen so I can reference it. O'Brien, it has built-in node server where you can define your routes and can call directly an app. Just make sure to host it somewhere that has a server or serverless functions like Netlify or Vercel. Yeah, I think I would typically, these days, I'm typically hosting most things in a Docker container on a VPS is what I'm doing most of the time. The one thing I don't like about hosting on some of like hosting on Vercel or Netlify or even like Azure App Service, I don't like the slow starts, the cold starts, like the fact that it puts your app to sleep. That kind of bothers me. I actually haven't, I mean, granted, I know I could fix it by paying them, but but I don't want to pay for hosting side projects that make me no money. Because I'm cheap like that, I guess you could say. All right, so this div up here is going to be our card. O'Brien, LL, yeah. Okay, so this div up here is going to be our card. And then I guess how should I make it so you can click to see the book? That's probably something I need to figure out. But in anywho, we're going to have two halves to our card. We're going to have a top and we're going to have a bottom. Right? And then we're going to have an image in here. I kind of like to do the structure of the card first and then deal with the styles. I guess for now, let's put the link in the bottom section, and we can style this like a button. And then the title is going to go here. So we'll have an image. Yeah, in the future, this will come from someplace else, but for now, we're just going to hard code something there. Let's see, alt. That can be, yeah, cover a book title. That's fine. Let's just put a placeholder. There's like an image placeholder service you can use. Image placeholder. Yeah, this one. This is the one I always use. So let's just do that for now. And then we're going to have a div inside here. And we're going to have another div, which is going to be the title. And then the author is going to be much smaller. This will be, let's see, this will be b dot author, like that. And then we'll have b dot title. Get rid of these. All right, let's see what that looks like. I'm guessing the image is going to be eating the whole page. Yeah, so we need to constrain the image. I think I'm using Tailwind. I haven't used Tailwind in a long time. Like in a really long time. So I'm going to put this in a separate div because I'm probably going to use like a grid layout here. So I'll put that in its own div. And let's see, this is going to be class name equals, what are the Tailwind classes? Tailwind documentation. See you, O'Brien. Yeah, dive into the computer and get lost. I like it. That sounds like a good evening ahead of you. I have to admit, I'm not a huge fan of using Tailwind. I almost always just write plain CSS, so you please forgive me as I try to figure out how to use Tailwind again. Yeah, so we need to do flex column, and then a gap. I wonder if there's a Tailwind like language server for NeoVim. Let's see, flex, and then flex column. Looks like Copilot knows how to write Tailwind. Of course it does. All AIs know how to write Tailwind. Okay, and then we've got our gap there. Okay, and then let's make this a grid. So this is going to be a grid. How do you do dynamic? Let's see. Grid. Display grid. I think that's what I want. I want something like this, but I want it to be, I basically want it to change how many columns dynamically, or based on the screen size. So I guess that's where I use the medium, small abbreviations. Christopher, there is a language server for NeoVim. You can install it with Mason. Are you talking about for Tailwind, Christopher? Because if that is true, that would be lovely. God, look how many language servers there are. There's something for everything. There's a Shopify CLI language server. Wow. Yes, sir. Okay, thank you, Christopher. I appreciate that, man. That is very kind of you. Where is it? Oh, there it is, right there. And then I'm guessing I need to go into my configs and set it up, don't I? All right, let's. Or does it just? Yeah. Okay, I need to set it up. So let's edit my configs. Tailwind. NeoVim. Christopher, not really. It should work automatically. Close and open NeoVim. Okay, let's try it. I shall follow. What was the name of that we were just in? I think it was books. No, it was index. Huh. Yeah, I'm guessing maybe the way my configuration, my NeoVim configurations are, I need to maybe explicitly. Let's see. Let's go to, I'm using NeoVim LSP. No, that's not what I want. This is what I want. Here we go. I think Mason already installed it for me. So I just need to enable it. Vim lsp.enable. Let's see. Edit in Vim config. Bobby, Control D, Control U, much easier. Yes, I need, Bobby, thank you. I need to up my Vimfoo skills. Waves Coder, hello, buddy. Hello, Waves Coder, how are you? Okay, I'm not sure. Let's see. Emit language server. How did I set that up? Forgive me, I am still a NeoVim noob. So I'm thinking I probably need to do something like this, don't I? Let's just add it right here. So LSP config .tailwind. Let's see what happens this when I do this. I'm guessing it may not work. LSP info. So we've got, oh yeah, it is. It's attached. Okay. So let's see if it works. Yep, there we go. Nice, okay, cool. We're working. We're cooking now. I like it. So if I go down here and I type grid, right, I can do grid, columns, I don't know, what's a good size? Grid columns 3? See what that does. Put them all in there. I think though I want to constrain them to a particular size. Who should we ask? Should we ask Claude or Gemini? Let's ask Gemini. I'm using Tailwind CSS. I'm wanting to build a grid layout that is responsive, meaning at the largest screen size we have 3 columns, but at the smallest we have a single column. I also I don't want the cards, what's the term? I don't want the, or let's say I also want the items in my grid to maintain their height and width, roughly. Let's see what Gemini comes up for me here. Yeah. That's what I think that's what I'm after. Well, it doesn't, I can't test it since I can't resize this thing. Oh my god. This thing like re-renders whenever the... Okay, well, it didn't quite get what I wanted because obviously the height and size of these cards are changing. So Steven's gonna have to up his front end skills. Or I guess remember his front end skills. Man, it's been a long time since I've done anything in the front end. So we have grid columns 3. Obviously, if we want to make grid columns 1 on a small screen, we need to do something like small grid columns 1. I think is what we're after there. Oh no. I want the inverse of this. So I want grid columns 1. Large. I always get this backwards. How the breakpoints work. Let's see. So there we go. So small screen, they're all in one column. Big screen, they go to 3. Let's add a gap in there. Gap 2, I don't know. We're just making this all up as we go. It's fine for now. All right, let's add class name equals border red border. My lack of experience with Tailwind is showing, isn't it? Okay, so Christopher, are you using Tailwind v4? I think so. I think I am using Tailwind v4. I could be wrong, but I think I am. I'm just using whatever was in the React router template. Yeah, Tailwind v4 is what I'm using. Also, to be completely honest, I'm probably just gonna stream for about an hour this evening. So if I leave you with a short stream, don't be angry with me. Okay, so what was I trying to do with the border? The border, what I'm trying to do with the border is basically just to visualize what I have. So the one thing I don't see is I don't see a link component rendering here. Oh yes, I do. That's the ID. So let's change this, instead of the ID, let's change this to view so that I can tell that that's that link. Okay. And then let's also add, let's see, class name equals background or BG white. Okay. And then I want, what do I want? I don't know what I want. Excuse me. Sorry. Hey, Mark. Hello, how are we doing? We're doing good, Mark. Good to see you again. How's life treating you? Okay, so what do I want to do? I basically want to constrain the image, or I want the image to cover or fill its container. So, or how do I want to display that image? How do I want to display it? I guess I want it to fit. I want to center it, right? Because these are book covers. Right? And we're putting it in a... You know, I'm wondering if we don't... What if we make the background of the whole... So what if we do the whole card is the image, is the cover image of the book, right? Because a book cover is not going to fit nicely in here, right? But it probably would, in a lot of cases, fit pretty nicely here. Let's look at the Google API again. So if that's extra large, that's 800 by 1237. What is large? Large is what? Large is 800. Well, that's the same. It's the same size. Should that be the same size? Let's see, what's the thumbnail? That's tiny. It's 128 by 198. I mean, that would fit in there. Like, that would fit. And then we center it and just, like, we could put some sort of gradient background behind it, maybe, on the left and right of the image. Yeah. Maybe we do that. I don't know. Design for me is hard. Mark, it has ups and downs, but we're managing. What about yourself? Progress looking good. Well, I totally agree. Life definitely has its ups and downs. What about me? Life's good for me, man. There's no complaints. I'm healthy, knock on wood, you know? Don't want to be sick, but I'm healthy. Wife seems to be healthy. Kids are healthy, you know? I have a job. I've got coffee. I've got code. So, could always be much worse, right? Let's look at this one's small. This is 300 by 464. Mark, good to hear, especially the coffee part. Yeah, as long as you got coffee, you know, what do you got to complain about, right? Okay, so it's either between 300 by... I think we do this. Yeah? So I think we do the thumbnail at least for the index route, and maybe we do a different thumbnail, or we do a different cover image when we're actually on the individual book page. So, yeah. Okay, so let's change this placeholder to be 128 by 98. 128 by 198. Nope, that's not how we do it. Let's see. Oh, we put an X. Let's see. 128 by 198. Like that. So let's stick this into our app here. Okay, and then let's do. This is going to be a flex container, which is fine. This is going to have flex call, and we want to center everything. So that would be items center. Is that how we do it? Yep, okay. So just imagine, that there's actual book covers there. And well, if we look at Claude's design is kind of pretty, right? So we need to have this div be positioned over the top of the image, essentially. Okay. So then we'll come back in here and we'll say position, or it's relative. And this one will say class name is absolute. We can do bottom 0. I hate not. I like if I was actually building this myself, if I wasn't streaming it, I would have the UI up on one half of the screen, and then I'd have my code editor on the other half, and I wouldn't have to toggle back and forth. And that it's causing me a little bit of pain right now, having to do that. So I think we want left. Left 0. And then we're going to do a little bit of margin around it. Like that. Yep. Now, what does this look like if I make it narrower, right? So if I didn't make it narrower, we are going to have some overlap. I think these cards are too wide. I think they're too wide and they're not tall enough. So let's try to set. So let's just say height is an arbitrary pixel size of 400 pixels. And then let's say width is half that. See what that looks like, 200 pixels. So that's too narrow, obviously. Maybe 400 by 300 is a better. Yeah, 500 is too tall. 400 is about right. What if I don't set a height and I just set a width? That doesn't look good. All right, we're not gonna. We'll just leave that be for a second. I can get really hung up on stuff like that. So this is gonna be left 0. We're gonna set a margin. How do you do margin? Is that M? M, yeah, we'll do an M. Margin of 2. And then we just need to create, actually probably need a margin of more like 4 or something. Okay, so then let's set a background of white. That's awesome right there. I mean, what else do you need? I mean, come on. Right? I mean, do you really need to be able to read the text that's in that div? Right? I mean, you can just highlight it. Right? That's awesome design. Kenneth Toxcon. Yo, my man, trying React Router. Yeah, I'm trying React Router version 7. The last time I used React Router was probably a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago at this point, and it was just the SPA, React Router version 6 or whatever, the SPA only version of it. And so I wanted to give it a go with all the bells and whistles that they added in version 7. It's like a gnat flying around in here. Mark, definitely since YouTube Live has vertical video syndrome. Yeah, the vertical video streams, I'm not sure how much. I don't know if vertical video streams work very well for front end is what I'm finding out, because I'm very unproductive flipping between the editor and the UI. And so maybe I make a decision that if I'm going to work on front end stuff, I just stream horizontally, and if I only have 3 or 4 viewers, so be it, But yeah, it's kind of a painful dev experience trying to just use half of one of my monitors. Okay, let's change the text color. Actually, we can leave the text color white. We need to change the opacity. And how do you change opacity in Tailwind? Sorry, there's a gnat that keeps buzzing by me. Let's see, Tailwind. Opacity? Oh, you can literally just specify. Okay, so let's do opacity of 25. Oh no, but that's going to affect the color. That's going to affect the text too, right? What I want is I want the color, the opacity of the color. Oh, that's an interesting way of specifying opacity. So you literally just say text blue. Okay, so or maybe opacity of the background color. Opacity background. Okay, that's the same approach. I like it. Consistency. Consistency. So BG white 25. I definitely see, so I don't use Tailwind a lot, but I definitely see how if you're working on a project with more than one dev, I can 100% see the value in using Tailwind or just using a utility first CSS framework, right? It's going to make your life so much easier and avoid you duplicating a lot of CSS. However, as an individual working on mostly individual side projects, I think I would probably be better served by just writing plain old CSS. All right, we'll add some padding and some border radiuses, and we should be not terribly far off. Okay, so we're in here. And now we're getting pretty long in the tooth here, so we're going to have margin is 2. Let's give padding of 2. And let's do border radius. How do you do radius? BR? I don't know. That one I couldn't intuit. Border radius. Rounded. I should have known. I should have known. Rounded. Medium? Small? Medium? Medium? Large? Who knows? Okay. There we go. So you need to make the author smaller and make the title bold. So let's make the author text decor or no. Font bold. And then here we'll say font text size. What is it? Font size. I don't think we want size. What do we want for the text? Text extra small. Text small probably. Why didn't that come up when I was typing it? Oh, there it is. I just overlooked it. Maybe the text should be extra small? It still doesn't look like there's a big enough differentiation between the title and the author. So let's do extra small, and then let's make the text medium. So text extra small, text medium. Is there a medium? large. There we go. Okay, and then let's add like some sort of gradient fill. Actually, let's add border radiuses to our cards real quick. So we'll say rounded, medium, shadow large is fine. I don't think I need the overflow right now. So I can't, I need some padding around that. Padding too. Ow. So there is a box shadow there, but it's not showing up because it's obviously a pretty dark background. So let's take away the shadow. Let's take away the shadow. Let's go back to our border for a second. Okay. So we have this div down here that's causing us issues. That we just need to slap a border or a rounded medium on it. Rounded medium. Oh, bottom medium. Okay, now we can see our rounded corners. And then this should be a link here somewhere. There we go. There's a link here for view. Ideally, I think I want this to be a button that kind of looks like this guy. So instead of add to library, it's a view button. But I don't want the cards to be so large. So let's do a quick measurement. How wide is this thing? I forget how to pull up the measurement tool. Here we go. So how wide is this? This is 400 pixels. Oh, interesting. 400 pixels wide, and how tall? Like roughly how tall? Guess I could just inspect this, can I? .400 by 516. So how do you do that in Tailwind? How do you set a fixed, let's see, height or size? I don't think I want that. I want like a fixed height. Oh, H. Okay. So H and then whatever number of pixels. I want. Where's my editor? So do H dash. So we'll just do we'll just say 400 and then width of 516. No, a height of 516 and a width of 400. Oh, that's ugly. That's not gonna work. So obviously I've misunderstood how that works. Do I have to say pixels? That? Will that fix it? Yeah. Okay. No, that didn't fix it. That did not fix it at all. Those just must be invalid. I don't want to match viewport. Setting both width and height size using a custom value. Oh, okay. So this is where I need to put angle brackets. Yeah. I promise I've used Tailwind once or twice before. Okay. There we go. Okay, obviously my grid looks like shit now. And honestly, I don't have enough content to justify having something being that tall at the moment. So what if I just set a width and not a height? And we'll just have some stubby cards to begin with. But I really don't like how that looks. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it looks okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna come back to it. I tell you what, styling and designing stuff is such a skill, isn't it? It's such a I don't know, what's the right word? It's a craft, right? Being able to like make stuff look pretty. It's a science, but it's also an art. Um I'm much more a fan of somebody giving me a design and I implementing the design versus me coming up with the design and implementing it at the same time. All right, y'all. Well, it's been a pretty quiet stream this evening. Not a lot of action in the chat, which is fine. Sometimes those are good streams. But I think given I've been live for about an hour and it's already 11 p.m., I started kind of late. I think I'm gonna hop off and enjoy what's left of my evening. and I hope you guys do the same. So have a good rest of your, what is it, Wednesday? Or maybe it's Thursday for you already. Have a good rest of your Thursday and an even better Friday. And I'll see you guys tomorrow probably. And if I don't see you tomorrow in a stream, then hopefully I'll see you in a short or a video, maybe in the comments of a video. If you're not part of our Discord, you can join our Discord there. I just put the link in the chat. It's just at discord.stephenfreeborn.com, and that's probably the best place to catch me or anybody that hangs out my streams offline. So please join us there if you're interested. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys later. All right, bye. See you guys. Bye.